concentration during davening. Let's say we wake up in the morning and we have zero concentration today. Should we daven or should we not daven? Today we're particularly upset or just thinking about other things or just have other things in our mind. Is it better to skip shachar altogether or to daven even with some less concentration? On one hand, with regard to all the mitzvahs, it's a question of how much concentration we actually need when we do mitzvot. But it's clear that when it comes to davening, we definitely have to recognize that we're standing before Kadosh Baruch Hu, and we need concentration with regard to this mitzvah. So what's better? It says in Masechet Eruvin, in Daf Ayin Hey Amud Aleph, Rabbi Elazar says somebody who was on a journey and comes back, for the first 3 days, you're not supposed to daven because you're still thinking about the journey. Rashi explains that you have like Torah Haderech, you're not like sitting nicely and being able to concentrate. So for the first 3 days, you don't actually daven. Many of us today would never daven if that was the case. The Rambam says, davening needs lots of concentration. The Chassidim Rishonim, he explains, like it says in the Gemara, would sit for an hour before davening just to make sure that they're really, really concentrating. And then they would sit for another hour of davening. And then in the end, they would sit an hour long after davening just to like redo their mindset from davening into the real world. And the Rambam explains that we shouldn't be davening as if it's like something we have to do on a checklist. We just have to finish it. Rather, we really have to understand that we're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if somebody davens and they didn't have the right concentration, they're supposed to go back and daven again. The Tul and the Shulchan Aruch explain that today it's a little bit different because today many people don't concentrate in that way. And since we a lot of times don't have that correct concentration, nobody goes back to daven. And we just we just understand that today it's different kinds of concentration. And so much that we know that we're davening and we know what we're doing, we're focused enough, even if we're not really concentrating, that's enough. So what happens if there's a particular day that you wake up and you have zero concentration? Is it better to just skip davening or to daven? The Gemara in Masechet Brachot explains that there's two parts of the davening. There's part that's Keneged HaKorbanot, and the Korbanat Tamid that was taken every day, the Korbanat Tzibur, and that is one part of the davening. The other part is more of a spontaneous talking before Hashem. That's Keneged HaAvot, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, that made the Tfilot, Shacharit, Mincha, ve'Arvit. Sometimes we don't have the concentration like we're supposed to have, like we're really talking before Kadosh Baruch Hu, but we do have enough to understand that we're part of a larger picture of a tzibur, and it's like a korban, and even that would be enough. So even if we're upset that day and or we're just thinking about other things, and it's really, really hard for us to understand what we're doing right now in terms of our concentration and davening, better to daven and understand that we don't have the same kind of concentration of really talking before Melech Machem Lachem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but we do have a certain amount of concentration that's enough, like the Korban Tzibur. The best tip to do also is, if we were able to go to a minyan and be part of a tzibur and daven with a minyan, then if we're davening with a minyan, we need much less concentration, because just the fact that we're part of a group, of a larger picture, not every individual needs to really concentrate on their davening, because we come as a group, and the group forms its own intensiveness, and therefore it doesn't really need the same concentration that we would have when we're talking one-on-one. But these Corona days, it's hard to be part of a tzibur and to be davening in a minyan. So the next best thing is to try to daven in the times that tzibur is davening. And even if there's no tzibur that's davening right now at those times, just the fact that everybody's davening together, even if it's in their own home, but all together at those times, it's also just like we're davening in a tzibur, and then we need less concentration. So obviously it's best to have concentration. If we're really in a state where our kids are fighting, we have to sort of be part of, we have to intervene with that. Or we have like little kids that we need to change their diapers in the middle, and the whole place is just too wild. We could do a Birkot Shachar, Birkot Torah, and probably should skip Shachars then. But if we're just a little bit not so focused on our davening today, better to daven and have the Kapan of the Korbanot and not have today the Kapan of the Avot, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be in better concentration.